All right, I'm back. I had a cup of coffee, so I was able to rest my nerve for a little bit. Let me try to continue this video. Okay, so it's April the 29th, 2016, and this is part two of these comments that I had a few minutes ago. Anyway, so I was talking about this situation with Hampton, and Lord, I hope this child's not going to suck me in and suck all the life out of me with trying to follow him and what he says today and what he says tomorrow. Who gives a fuck what he says, really? But I do have a couple of thoughts. Okay, so I was wondering in his comments, the number of heterosexual, or at least they appear to be heterosexual women that make comments on his site. They follow him on his Facebook and all this. And I was thinking to myself, why in the hell would all these straight women be interested in what Walter Lee Hampton got to say? All he talks about is dicks and queens, and I mean, I don't hear any kind of subject about uh, things that would affect straight women. And then it dawned on me. It's just like my relationship with Fox TV, Fox News. Now, I'm 58 years old, and I have never watched a whole episode of Fox News in all of those years in my entire life, or the life of their network. But until recently, because what I've discovered is I like to go on there during the, not during the primary, but during now. I like to go on there to watch Republicans rip each other apart. I find it entertaining. Since they're all fighting against each other, at least at this point, it's entertaining. And so that's what's going on with you, Walter Lee. Them people, women are looking at you because they're able to look into a different world, and they have an ally because they know you hate us just as much as they do. Or I mean, I know all women don't. I mean, they don't hate all gay people because of your black ass. I mean, a lot of people just. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about all that, but I don't know why they would be interested in bodybuilding and all that kind of stuff either. Anyway, I go in there just to see people destroy each other, and so it's very fun to me. I doubt that I'll be watching them after the general starts, but during the primary, it's okay. So what were we talking about? Okay, we're talking about Walter Lee Hampton. Okay, let's question motives here. I would have to ask myself, why would this grown ass muscle bound man in Atlanta, Georgia, be talking about HIV as for all these years, saying the same damn thing? Because when you look at one of Walter's videos, and I just do a quick, I'm a writer, so I'm used to researching things. Somebody says something stupid, I just go and research it just because it's interesting to me. Anyway, if you go back 3 years, it's the same conversation. You go back, I don't know when he started, 4 or 5 years, it's all the same. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And the reason why is because Walter has made his livelihood out of HIV. If there were no more HIV, if people wasn't spread HIV no more, what would he talk about? Walter he's not an interesting person. He doesn't talk about but this HIV stuff. Well, why would it hold his interest like this? I mean, we're the ones to be interested in it. Shit. People who are living with it. At this point, it's about living with HIV as opposed to you know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna start taking notes so I'll know what I want to talk about in these things, because it's always like you're on the clock and you're looking at this asshole on the screen and he's got to hold your interest. And then for me, since my mind wanders all over the place, I got to keep trying to come back to what the hell I'm trying to talk about. So from this point on, if I do make other videos, and I very seriously doubt it's going to be about this dude, I will try to make some kind of notation or something to keep me on track. Okay, so I think I've said what I have to say about disclosure. I think generally most people know that in this day and time, this is not 1983, even though Walter seems to think it is. We know at this point in HIV, everybody needs to be treating this thing like everybody's positive. And it's because it's a you got 50% chance that they are. So I hope that we've all come to that realization that things are different than they were in the 80s. And now it's not on the onus is not put on the person who's positive. because so many people are positive, it's put on the person who is trying to stay negative. So if you want to have unprotected sex, I'm not going to call you a fool. I'm just going to say, if you're going to have unprotected sex with these strangers or these people you meet online or in the gym somewhere, if you get positive, don't blame nobody but you. It's all on you. And then you have evidence that the rubber broke. If you feel like the rubber might break, your dick's so big, the rubber might break and all this kind of, don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't be out there having sex with everybody. If you can't take the risk, man up about it, honey. All right. I know there were some other things that this child said. Oh, I want to talk about your case a little bit. Okay. When I was going back doing my research, Walter Lee, this is for you. I came across this videos of this controversy you had a couple years back with this Tyler Perry shit. And then the way you ended up with this scar across your face, this deep, scar on your face. And everyone was speculating about you got jumped on because of your big mouth. That somebody finally had enough nerve and enough balls to attack that ass. Because a lot of us believe that you should be attacked. I believe that. But not many are gonna go across the Incredible Hulk because they know they're gonna have to kill your ass and spend a lot of time in prison. And they got the question, is this bitch worth it? So anyway, you gave this ridiculous story. Let's talk about this story for a minute. Okay, after you outed Tyler Perry, soon after that, you ended up with your face cut open. Now you said that after you ended up with your face cut open, people were speculating. We were all saying, okay, somebody finally got him and all this kind of stuff. Okay, you came up with a story, and it was like that was some serious cutting there. But how you came up with a story about the window? You were sitting in a restaurant, and the window fell down on your face or your head. The window fell out of the restaurant. A plate glass window fall off on you, and it cuts you down underneath your chin. Does that even plausible? If it comes down out the damn thing, it's gonna hit you on your head. First of all, your forehead. If it's in the back of you, hit the back of your head. It's gonna hit this side, this side. Nothing's gonna make a window come across your face and cut your face. Now, if that did happen, why don't you own the restaurant? A petty bitch like you, I know you'd be ready to sue in a heartbeat if something like that had happened. Why don't you name the restaurant? Let those people come over and give testimony. So that shows what kind of character you are, Walter Lee. You know, you can't be trusted in anything you say. And so when I was watching this other person's video, I forget the guy's name. He's a pretty smart guy. He's got good insight. And he was asking, why would Walter Lee Hampton be so interested or how would Walter Lee Hampton expect a person to tell them their HIV status automatically, just on the cuff? Why would they do that? The only way that he would feel they had a responsibility to do that is if he was having sex with them. Now you went on there and said you didn't have sex with the man, yet you into muscle-bound black man. Obviously, he's a muscle-bound black man. He living up in the house. You lived up in the house with him for 3 and 4 months. He rescued you from Earl when your lover threw you out, and so now you living up in the house with him. But y'all don't. There's no fucking going on. But yeah, you feel like you're so wrong by him not telling his status. That stinks. That story stinks. I wish I could know that brother's name. I would give him credit because it's not my idea, but it sure makes sense. The only reason you're gonna be interested or be so angry and so upset to go and put all this online is if you had sex with the man. Probably you're afraid that Earl's gonna find out. Let me move my lips there. You can see him. Probably you're afraid that Earl was going to find out that you had walked out the house and went out here and having unprotected sex with HIV positive man and brought it back into the house. And then he's going to throw your ass out again if he didn't sue you. What about that? I can't imagine. And the brother made a good point. I can't imagine why you would be that interested in or expecting this man to tell you his status if it was no physical contact. So that's bullshit. You mean tell me that you know this man casually at the gym, and so you move to his house. You move to his house, decide you want to get him a car, and you want to You wanted to put your name on the car note, or excuse me, you wanted to put his name on your insurance, and you wanted to buy him clothes, and you don't have to do all that in order to move in with somebody. Usually when you move in with somebody, they tell you, here's the price, bitch. You ain't fucking me, so I want $300 a month or whatever, $200 a month. You so rich, $500 a month, whatever it is. That'll be the case. But he wouldn't expect you to go buying them cars and shit. Obviously, you had a romantic interest in this man. Now, I assume Earl's not on the line that much because you don't say that much about him. And I guess he's told you that his picture ever showed up online. He gonna kick your ass out again. But yeah, so that story stinks. It sucks ass. So we're gonna have to take you for being a person, Walter Lee, because even I don't know. Here I go again, mixing everything up. Okay. If you look back on Walter Lee's, this is for everybody else. Look back into his videos archives. You'll see many pages where he's saying, "I've never outed anybody. I would never do that." And then the next page is saying, "Oh, I outed him because of this. I outed him because of that." Then you'll say, "I have all the friends in the world. I got friends over here and friends over there. They all know me. They all love me and all this." And in the next video, you'll have, "Oh, I don't have that many friends in the gay community. All my friends are straight." And just one contradiction after another. One contradiction after you just like Trump. You never know what you're gonna get. So anyway, I don't want to talk about this nostalgia thing anymore. I feel like the world's come far enough to know that if you like raw sex, you're gonna have to pay a price for that. Just like playing Russian roulette with your life. If you want to stay negative, I can respect that. We all respect that. Everybody in the world respects that. But you're going to have to take responsibilities for it. As far as you, Walter Lee, Hampton, I wish I could play that. There was a song back in the 70s with, what was this girl's name? What was the one who used to read everybody? Millie Jackson. Millie Jackson had this symphony. You can find it on YouTube, people. And eventually I'll learn how to post things onto whatever I'm saying. This is kind of new for me. But she did this symphony. And the symphony went something like this. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. She did a whole symphony on what I think about you, Walter Lee Hampton.